when last we left off. The party had recently succeeded in clearing out the Sleeping Giant taproom and learning several vital pieces of information. Some of which are further information about their patron, Gundren Rockseeker, what has happened to him, the name of the glass staff, and the location of the hideout for these bandits underneath the ruined Trensendale Manor. And a mention of the mysterious black spider, identity unknown. So after clearing out the tap room, you guys head back to the inn, whereupon you rested and woke up and were beginning the day's activity when you were rudely interrupted by several guard members banging in the door.
Oh, that's right.
Right, and you were fucking escaping out the window.
Oh yeah, I was just
Gone.
Bye.
So, where are we exactly?
You are in the common room of this, of the inn. To give you the general layout, it's a rectangular room. Along the back wall is the counter with a door behind that leading into the kitchens. There are several round tables scattered throughout the room, with several people just milling and enjoying breakfast. And you guys were about to leave. When? So the guard has approached you. Several guards behind him, in fact. This guy seems to have some mark of insignia on his uniform. And
Is
he
Tessa
says,
still at the table, or is she already gone?
You have... Maybe we see your
Okay.
coattails.
Yeah, I'm just like turning the door, going up to my room, climbing down the rope, looking it far away, and keeping an eye from a very safe distance, hidden behind something.
Yeah,
That was
just
sweet.
make me a quick dex check, because I just want to see how successful you are at this.
Okay, is this straight dex or acrobatics?
I'll let you do
or-
acrobatics, because you are parkouring your way through this.
21.
Oh,
That is successful.
really?
Bye.
So it's safe to say you're basically out of the building right now. As the guards are saying, "You, come with us. We need to bring you in for questioning."
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can I?
Why?
Oh, let's take it easy. Can I pull my symbol of the city that what?
It's fine.
Okay. The symbol, the emblem, whatever Einar had from the village was that he was in his home,
Mm-hmm.
and pull it out and just leave it hanging out there, just in the open for them to see. Good morning. What seems to be the problem?
Your names are brought up. We need to bring you in for questioning for the murder of several individuals in town. And this is the guy up front. He's got a very tidy little goatee and a mustache. The other guys are just kind of staying in the background, not saying much.
How many are there?
There's 3.
Murder? What murder?
Because we murdered.
There were several enforcers under the protection of the town master that are now absent from the living. So if you would please come with us, we'd like to ask you much more in the manor. Or in the town master's hall, rather.
Why us? Because we're outsiders? I didn't understand.
All will become
why
clear.
would we suspects?
He's gonna cut you off and step forward, and his the 2 guys behind him will step forward in unison, and they're gonna make a move as if to grab you.
Whoa. No, don't need to be aggressive, okay? Let's talk it out. We're all members of the guard, okay? We can talk things out, right?
You're a member of the guard?
Not this guard.
Not this
guard.
guard. A guard.
Oh, okay. As long as you just don't put me in handcuffs, I'll just go.
I
One
don't know
will-
who informed you for the murders, but I don't know if we're involved. We're not involved, I mean.
But,
But we
We're not sleeping. We can come with you if you want. We would be glad to give you some helpful information if we could. But we really don't know anything about the murder.
Yeah.
You guys
And-
can make a
and
deception
I-
check
and
on
I-
that.
Yeah, and I want to pinch Tessa.
Mashari will not be casting deception.
Masari, sorry.
What? What am I doing? Oh, are we? Oh. Okay, got it.
What are we rolling?
Deception on these guys.
Somewhere you don't know, Tessa is suddenly extremely grateful she decided to book it and not see how this planned out.
11.
Yeah.
You did better than me.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12.
Yeah. They're
Lovely.
totally buying it, man.
Oh, this is wonderful.
I have lost my camera. Maggie?
It's working.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the thing.
No, your camera is all blurry. It's only me?
Oh, the
Only you.
that
Yeah.
is that a problem?
No, it just... okay, I think it will be... Okay, in some time.
Alright. Now, I'm gonna make a quick roll. And I'll make another roll. Alright, so, the main guy in front, actually seems fairly taken aback, and he's just gonna kind of look back and forth to his cohorts, and they're just gonna nod to each other, and they say, they kind of resign themselves, and say, "Even so, we need to bring you back to the Town Master's Hall."
Yeah, we
Okay.
can go and talk. Just don't be aggressive. We'll follow you.
Yeah.
Alright. And he'll actually... He's kind of standing a little stiffly and almost it seems awkward. And he'll just kind of stand to the side and he's obviously expecting you guys to get up and come with them.
How tall is he?
Um, Sorry?
Where? She's whispering to someone else. Where'd Tessa go?
Sus now. Come with me and don't say anything. Just sus.
What?
Just sus.
Come on, but I like to talk.
Yeah, don't say anything about Tessa.
Oh, okay.
While all of this is going on, Tessa is just going shit, and pulling out an entire set of farmer's clothes from her bag that she had swung over her shoulder, and also a wig from her disguise kit. She's just bundling up her hair, putting over a russet-colored short-haired wig, jamming a cap over it, and just putting on her entire disguise kit instead of commoner's clothes.
Wonderful. And this guy is about 5'10", 5'11". The guys behind him, one is actually like 6'2", and he's just standing out like a beanstalk.
Hmm.
But the guy in
You're
charge
really
is shorter.
tall.
Yeah.
He's actually seems quite young, probably not even leaving his teens yet.
Oh, okay.
And she'll. Mashari will start walking. She's
Yeah.
fine with this. They
Yeah.
don't seem that mean.
They will flank you with the two guys on either side of you, and then the captain guy in front, and it will just walk the short trip down the street towards the town master's hall.
Tessa's just
And-
watching with her disguise, like fixing her wig as she's looking over the corner of a building. Like,
Can you see if I can spot Tessa? Just to know if she left us or she's
Yeah.
somewhere there.
Absolutely. Make me a perception check.
Mashari wants to try too. She is obviously looking for something.
should I make a counter stealth check? Because she is hiding.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
let's
one.
do that.
That's a one.
Let's find Tessa.
I'll let you perception them because you're trying to see them as well.
Oh, okay.
And if you see them, then it's your call whether or not you reveal yourselves to them.
Yeah, shoot, so 13, just looking.
Okay. I think that beats everyone's passive. There. Yeah, you'll be able to see it. And do you wish to be hiding from them?
She wishes to hide herself from Ashari, but not from Aesa or Einar.
I got a 1, so that's that's acceptable.
You don't find it hard as she's looking in the other direction.
Alright, so yeah, so like when she sees Einar and Aesa like looking in her direction, she steps a little bit further out and just is like, and then disappears back out of sight.
Are the guards behind us also, or are they only in a triangle formation in front of us?
Triangle formation. Well, and not really in front of us. The guys are beside you, and it's not a large group, so they're keeping their eyes on you.
There are 2 on the side, 1 in front and 1 in the back, or
No one in the back.
is-
It's just the 3 of
No
them.
one in the back. Okay. 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 So can I signal Tessa to follow us? Something like,
Oh, she's gonna be following anyway, so.
yeah.
You could try to sleight of hand it.
Oh boy.
Oh no, then. Oh, yeah, why not? Oh yeah, why not? Slide. Oh,
That's not bad.
yeah, not bad.
Yeah, no, they don't seem to notice as you make these small gestures kind of at waist level.
Alright, Tessa just sort of nods, pulls the cap over her head, and slips into the crowd of people just walking in the street.
As you're walking along, you can see that the couple people that are out at this time of day are just clear, wide berth for the guards as they're walking you down. Also, in the light outside of the inn, you can make out that these guys' uniforms are not really the best. It's like some of them aren't fitting exactly properly, and one shows signs of much wear. It looks like they haven't been getting a lot of love financially as a town's guard.
Aw.
So they take you around the bend, past the green, to the townmaster's hall. Large, imposing building with high arched roof there. Several small windows along the front, and there's actually pillars on this outcrop in the entrance, with a large set of oaken double doors. The main guy will stop at the front, and one of the guys on the side, guards on the side, will go and open the doors, and you'll be escorted in to a fairly lavish sitting room area. But you're immediately detoured to the right and taken into a smaller room behind a metal-plated door, where you see this is a small holding cell and guard room. And they're going to lead you actually to this fairly large cell and say, "We apologize, but we'll need for you to wait here."
What? We
Yeah.
don't need to be locked up. We did nothing wrong.
Yeah, nobody
So?
said anything about locking us up.
It's only temporary. Please.
We came here to talk, not
That
to be
isn't
imprisoned.
nice.
And the guard's just gonna
What about
wave
our
off
weapons? Did he ask,
your complaints.
Did he ask for our weapons or?
Nothing yet.
Oh,
What if I just like, she leans up against like the outside of the bars and she's like, well, what if I just stand here? Isn't this fine? I don't want to be locked up.
The guardsman is just gonna sigh, and he's kind of got some pretty tired eyes at this point. And
Aw,
he's like,
poor guy.
"I'm sorry, but this is policy."
Oh, come on. But she'll go in.
It's actually not that bad in there. Other than being bars, there's a fairly large bench. And is everyone going to go in, or is it just the tiefling now?
Yeah, I'm going in.
okay.
And as soon as the guards leave, I want to start to hide her dagger.
Okay, palm a dagger.
No,
You
to hide her dagger. The one that talks. It's a dagger, right?
Oh, the
Oh, no,
rapier.
no. My rapier.
Oh, you're right there. Hide
I can hide it. She gets mad. She likes to be able to see everything.
Yeah.
Ask
but
her what we
she
should
will
do now.
understand. Yeah. She will
Um,
Ask your
understand.
rapier.
So,
She just had me sit here and wait. I don't know. She doesn't ask me to break the law.
Not the brilliant rapier of all that, right?
Yeah, but if she's taken away from you, what will you do? What she will do?
They won't take her away. They won't take her away. No. They can't.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Because they said that we're just gonna talk and they just locked us up. I'm not sure.
Did they lock the door?
the door is closed, but when it closed, you had a pretty good view. That the spindly youth guard was standing outside of it, and ever since then it's been quiet. You're not sure if it's locked or not, but the cell door is locked. Yes, just not to the main room.
So the spindly young guard is there, right?
Yeah.
Mashari's gonna go up to the bars.
Oh no.
Hi, what's your name?
You'll kind of lock eyes with you, and then just kind of look away.
Oh, come on. Hey, what's your name? I just want to ask you some questions, please.
His brows furrowing, when he's just kind of like, he opens his mouth, and the door behind him opens, and he kind of gets stumbled forward, and an old military veteran walks in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, his uniform is pristine, unlike everyone else's. He has a large layer of scruff on his face, like he hasn't shaved it in a while, and like wispy hair that's slightly graying.
Is he a human?
He is a human. All these guards have been human.
God, I feel so out of place.
Don't
As
worry,
he-
sweetheart. There's a place for everyone.
As he
I have
walks
horns,
in,
no one else does.
he will make a rough gesture to the boy, and the boy will quickly run to the bars and unlock the door.
Can I ask one more time? What's your name?
He's kind of stuttering. He's got the veteran breathing down his neck. You'll have to make a persuasion check.
Okay. That I can do. I want to know this guard's name, damn it.
20, please. Come on.
That's a 9.
Aww.
About you being able to do that.
I have a fun performance. Shut up.
I have better persuasion than you.
So again, this boy seems about to talk when this guardsman clears his throat very loudly, and he'll say, "Bring the man." So the boy just kind of clamps down, and he's got tunnel vision. He'll open the chamber and he'll just usher you forward there.
Okay. I'm gonna find out your name.
That's not creepy.
I'm
Yeah.
Doesn't
going,
mean it to be
At all.
creepy, but
At
just
all.
mean
I'm,
it to
go-
be creepy,
I'm
but
going and hugging and
He actually blushes slightly at that.
and
she just like nods to herself and then keeps walking.
So yeah, Inar, are you gonna move forward?
What of that?
Oh, he was talking about me?
Yeah, the man. Sorry, you.
The man, yeah. Yeah, why not?
Um,
I'm going behind him. I'm not leaving the side.
Why are you both so tall? This is annoying. I never see past you two.
Genetics.
Mm.
so as you come out, this boy is gonna try to close the door before your wife makes it.
Whoa.
Aisa.
Oh, I don't recommend doing that.
Can I put my hand on the door so it doesn't close and let Asa through?
We can absolutely make a contested check on this.
Can I do it recklessly?
You're not raging, my dude.
You can recklessly jam your arm into the closing door. Absolutely.
Yeah. 11.
Come on, Aina, you're leaving me behind. Please don't.
I didn't have the morning coffee.
Return of the low rolls.
You still get it. You still get your hand in there. It's just kind of like, ow.
Ow.
And the boy is stuttering, and he'll say, "Sorry, only one at a time."
Oh no.
We're a package
I'm
now.
not taking my husband's side.
Yeah.
And then pushing the door.
You want me? You get my wife too.
What about you?
2 for 1 special.
Yeah.
The veteran will kind of take a couple steps closer from where he was standing, and say, "We're either gonna do this the good way or the hard way, and I'd rather if it didn't get hard. So please."
We should probably do it the good way.
Okay. Look, since we're only here to talk, I say you can stay back with Mashari and keep an eye out for her. Okay?
I don't need to be babysat.
Yeah, I didn't mean like that.
I'm not sure about that, husband. I'm not feeling good leaving you. But
Yeah, me neither, but we said we're only going to talk.
okay, let's just play through.
Hmm.
And I'm going to let them lock me in the game.
All right, sorry. So you're complying?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the cage, the prison cell door will close. They will lock it once again, and the young guard will resume his position. The veteran will basically just give you a head shake to a side door, and he will basically wait for you to walk to it and then follow.
Okay, I'm going in then.
Okay. It's just a small, like a 6x12 room. There is basically just one chair, and a table, and sorry, 2 chairs on the other side of the table. One side of the wall is an exposed window with bars, and you can see that it is a straight shot view into what seems to be like the guard barracks. It seems like this is a fairly large offshoot to the town hall in general. There's several guards milling about in there, and some just come over and start watching. He'll invite you to sit down and say, "So."
Okay, so as I'm sitting down, I want to turn the chair like sideways so the back of the chair is underneath my right arm and be ready in case something happens to just get up, take the chair and throw it at him. just in case.
Yes, please go ahead.
So the townhouse that so Tessa followed them at least to the door of the townhouse. Does it look like only guards are coming in and out?
There hasn't been anyone entering or leaving since.
Okay, so she's just gonna start sort of skulking around the outside and look for windows that can look at.
All right. It's fairly simple. You can find there are several windows around the building. You can see that it's made up of 2 large main sections. There's the building proper, and then to the side, it's like a recently added wing that's just low, flat roof. As you're going around, there are several windows there which you can decide to peek in to see what's going on.
She's gonna peek in pretty much through each one of them in a row whenever no one's looking at her doing it to just get a sense of what's where.
All right, just give me a perception check, and that'll cover all the windows there.
19.
19. Wow.
I got double proficiency in perception. This is one of my things.
So you're looking in these windows. It does not take you long to see that there is one that's looking into a populated guard room. There seems to be bunks and some tables. There is, like, if you look at it through an angle, you can see that there is another window in that wall that is barred off, and there are some people behind it.
Is there anyone in the guard room?
Yeah, there is about 5 guardsmen, and they're just sitting around. A couple of them are playing cards. One of them is looking in, and he actually has a crossbow ready, but it's kind of on the side. You wouldn't be able to see it from within the bars.
Mm-hmm. How high up is the window that she's looking in right now?
Not very. Maybe the bottom sill of this window is at 4.5, 5 feet.
Cool. And how many feet is it between this one and the barred window further in?
If you were to jump in, you would think it's about a 10-foot run in a straight line. Or if you were to, like, dodge tables and stuff, it'd probably be 15.
Cool. So Tessa, and so she can't hear into the second room, though, right?
No. And you can only hear faintly into the first room, with it being a paned glass window.
Alright, so she's just gonna, like, grab a piece of grass, stick it in her mouth, like, chew on it innocently, lean against the wall like she's taking a break, and just hold her hand crossbow in the folds of her, farmer's garb, and just get ready to fire if the guard with the crossbow there's any sort of shuffling sound like he's moving rapidly to fire or something.
Alright. Perfect.
And that's all she's doing.
Alright, you two in the cells, did you want to do anything while you waited, or...?
Yeah, I would take my sari back of the room and whisper to her that if anybody asks anything about last night, she was in bed and sleeping. Okay?
I'm bad at lying now.
Yeah, I know, but whatever he says, you stick to the plan. Just like when in bed sleeping.
Why don't we just tell them they were bad guys?
No, you were sleeping.
They were bandits. They were mean.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but we won't scare.
I don't want to lie.
I know we were bad guys, but
I don't want
it's
to.
bad killing people. Either way, one way or the other, they're gonna lock you up. You won't
try.
be right there.
I'll
and
try.
you'll never find that treasure, okay? So just...
Now you're just being mean. Now you're just being mean
No.
and patronizing. Yes, you are. Yes, you
I'm
are.
telling-
Yes,
I'm telling
you are.
the truth. I'm telling you the truth. So, where you were last night? What were
I was
you
in
doing
bed.
last night?
I was in bed sleeping because apparently we're big, giant, fat liars.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Thank you.
Is the young guard still standing there?
Yeah, he is in the other side of the room, and he's clearly just, like, looking in another direction.
She'll reach out from between the bars. I really do want to learn your name. I'm really determined now.
He seems to be getting fairly uncomfortable, and he's just kind of shifting.
Oh, come on. I'll leave you alone if you tell me.
Come on, tell me your names. It won't stop. Otherwise,
I'm very determined.
please do it for me. I'm gonna hear the whining afterwards.
Hey, I don't whine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Spencer, is that aimed at me or Mashari?
Which do you think?
No? Fine. You seem too young to be here anyway. Why are they recruiting you so young?
You're gonna need another persuasion check on this guy real quick.
I'll give it a shot. You
Yeah.
guys have not been with me lately in any game, so we'll see. That's a 5!
Oh. You'd think a +3 would do something.
She has her face like pressed up between the bars and she's just kind of smiling as she's standing there.
He will blush and look down, but he will remain silent.
Is this because I'm a tiefling? Just at least tell me it's not because of that.
I can't talk with you.
Because I might be a criminal or because of the horns and the tail thing?
It's not the horns.
Fine. And she'll finally walk away from the bars.
It's
It's
a
a
good
tape
thing,
on the
though.
force.
Well, I guess he's not racist, that's fine.
So back into the interrogation room.
Oh, yeah.
The veteran sits down and says, "All right, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'm Tonar. I'm the captain of the guard here. And there has been several suspicious murders left, particularly of the mercenary party that calls themselves the Red Brands. They have the express permission to be in this town and enforce policy by the town master himself. And recently, several of them have been found dead near the edge of town. I want to know what you know.
Well, we came into town yesterday, and yes, we heard about those red brands, red feasts, flame brands. What do you call them?
Red
flame,
brands.
red. Yeah, that one. But I didn't know what happened. I mean, the townsfolk, they told us about the red brands. But other than that, I know nothing.
Where were you last night?
Let's see, we arrived at night, well, near nightfall, and we had a couple of things to do with the local shops, and then we stayed in the inn.
So you're telling me you had nothing to do with their deaths?
With their deaths? Yeah, most definitely not.
Checks.
What?
Sorry, I'm forgetting stat names for a second.
Deception?
Deception! That one. Roll a check for me, good sir.
Lie like the
How
Dickens.
nice!
Oh my God.
Natural 20. 20, that's what I'm talking about.
So he'll be staring at you for a second. And then he'll nod. And say, well then I guess I was wrong.
Okay.
I'm terribly sorry. He immediately stands up. And he's like,
It's not a problem. You can ask my wife. She will tell you the same thing. If you want more details, I can get into details what I did last night with my wife, but I don't think you want to know.
his brow will furrow slightly. And he'll say, no, we're fine, thank you. And he will get up and
thank
open
you.
the door behind him.
I'll go outside then.
Alright. So he will signal to the young boy who will run over and unlock the cell. And he will say, alright, now the tiefling.
The tiefling just left.
Oh, she totally did leave.
Yeah, Taylor said she had to go do something, so.
Okay. Alright, from your vantage point outside the window, you saw that whole exchange without words, but it seems to be some kind of interrogation, though it ended fairly quickly.
Nothing concerning yet, so Tessa's just gonna do a little amble so she's not staying in one place so long as to be suspicious, but eventually after her a slow circuitous route come back to the window.
Okay. You see a couple kids that are playing around in the grass behind the area.
She
But-
makes note of that, actually.
Okay. One of them will see you if you're just walking around, but then he'll just kind of ignore you and go back to playing with sticks. Alright, and... So yes, after returning to the room, the guard says, alright, next, the tiefling.
Do they want me to go inside the cell again?
Yeah, the boy is gonna lead you back, and it's gonna be like a swap.
Okay.
How'd it go?
How wouldn't go? When we're innocent.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming.
Can I whisper? Is it best beside the Masari? Can I whisper to her? Talk about sex. He doesn't like it.
Jesus. We are the worst kind of people.
Yeah.
Little
You know,
bit.
I like moved the chair so he could like sit sideways. Literally, Mashari just sits right in the chair she's supposed to, hands in her lap, and just looks around.
All right. So the door will close behind this guy as he enters.
Hello.
So,
You don't seem very happy.
where were you last night?
I was at the inn.
Whoa, Taylor, your camera just went nuts for me.
Insane. Yeah,
Whoa,
same.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
You look like 10 billion pixels, but they just got turned into 5, and it's like a weird ghost.
I had the same thing with my day a bit ago.
Oh, is that what that was?
It's
Okay,
Yeah.
God, that's
Oh,
back. It's
yeah.
we're good.
Just fixed it.
Okay.
Normal.
It's Discord, I think. So.
Could be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Probably. I was in the inn.
From when to when?
I don't know, from dark to dark?
So you're telling me you stayed in the entire night?
Yeah.
And now I need you to make a deception check for this person. If you
I
don't
like
mind.
to go out. I don't like going out in the dark. I can see in it, but it doesn't mean I like to go. Deception? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 12!
Nah.
To be fair, for level 2, 12 ain't awful.
Mhm.
That's my turn.
Yeah.
It's double digits.
Yeah.
And she's smiling, and she forgets sometimes that she has some slightly extra sharp teeth. And so she's just sitting there smiling.
Mhm.
It's a genuine smile.
So he will lean forward,
Oh.
and he'll say, "I'm not gonna lie. Every time one of your kind comes here, it's never been good."
That's just mean and racist. What the? What?
Raises a hand. It's like, doesn't change the fact. Maybe you were there all night, maybe not, but I don't trust it. Several men were killed outside of town. What do you know?
Because of the horns and the tail?
He will just narrow his eyes and not respond.
Would that be speciesist? Or
Yeah.
racist?
It's a fantasy
Speciest.
race, so it'd be racist, I think.
Yeah, it's a race.
Racism.
Wow. You know, that really hurt my feelings.
Answer the question.
I know there were some scary guys on the outside of town, but obviously I wasn't gonna go after them. I mean, look at me! And she goes and flexes an arm. She's like, I can't hit anything.
You got an awfully weird sword over there.
It was my dad's. He makes. No, wait. It was his grandfather's, but then my mom's grandmother made it. We have a blacksmith in the family, and so we make cool things like this. It's awesome. It's not weird.
It's a little weird.
But I mean, look at me, and she'll like brandish it out, and very weakly kind of like swing it around. Like, look, I barely know how to use it. I just carry it around because then people don't bother me.
So Tessa, you can see outside that the guardsman is definitely clenching that crossbow and is getting ready. It'd be a ready to action mechanically.
Tessa's just like, oh. And dually readies her crossbow as well.
It's like, the guardsman will slowly raise to his feet and say, "Put that away now." Talking to
Sorry,
you,
that's to you.
Mishari.
Oh, okay, sorry. And she'll put it away. Really, I'm not that great with it. I only learned how to start using it like a month or two ago. I can't kill anyone. I mean, seriously, look at me. I'm half the size of that guard out there. What's his name, by the way?
It's the start of a never-ending campaign.
Never-ending campaign to find out this guy's name. Sorry. So it's persuasion for the first one, though I'll take on the second one as part of that.
So it's all persuasion?
Yeah, just one big persuasion check. So basically,
11! These dice are not my favorite today.
that's pretty much status quo. The guardsman will say, "You may not be telling me what I want now, but you will soon." And he will just stand up, and he will turn
That's
around
not
and leave you
frightening
in
at
that room.
all. He's gonna leave me here?
Yep. The door closes behind him.
Hey, wait! Ah! Is it locked?
In the
You could get up and try it.
She will.
It's locked.
Oh, come on! She'll kind of hit on it like, hey!
Um,
in the
As-
meantime, can I talk to Alyssa?
yeah, you guys can talk right before he exits the room and enters yours.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why can't we be friends?
That's Majari's mindset.
And there's still the young guard with us.
Yep.
Okay, so do I think that if I whisper, he will hear? He will hear me?
There is enough space in the room that you could probably whisper and get away with it.
Okay, I'll try to whisper to Alyssa so that we went for a quick run in the shops, and they were all night in the inn. That's our story.
Yeah, no, baby, we were.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure because I know Mashari will crack under the pressure.
No, I have faith
Crack,
in
that's rude.
You weren't even aware of the pressure. You don't have the brain to be aware of the pressure in the first place.
She's actually pretty smart. She's a 14.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
That's not her mental age.
She's fine. She's fine.
She's 5? Yeah, you're right. She is 5.
No.
That was snaky.
I believe in myself.
Yeah.
She's just a little naive.
She will stay in character. She will stick in to the plan.
Okay.
Exactly.
So the guardsman
Okay.
will exit the room, close and lock it behind him from with a key from his belt. And Mashari is not with him. He will signal to the boy to unlock the cell and say, "You're free to go."
And the study? Where's our friend?
She's going to be held for further questioning.
No, she's not. She's coming with us.
Why?
No. No, she's not. She's going to stay here, and you're going to go. And that's
Is
how
this
this is going to
Donna?
play out.
Is this Donner that we're talking to?
Yeah, this is the buff guy who went out. The
Oh, yeah.
veteran.
Okay, listen, man. We talked this out, right? We're innocent. We didn't do anything. Just because she has a tail doesn't mean she has to be held prisoner.
I
We'll be in
believe
town
you.
for the next couple of days. If you want something, we'll be at the inn. You can come and talk to us again.
Roll another persuasion on that.
Let's go. $17.
Why
Yeah.
can't I get those rolls?
It was 18. It's minus one.
It's karma for the first session.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And I'm going to quickly contest that because it's not its passive. Oh, wow. All right. He will grit his teeth and he'll say, "No, you will leave and she will stay, and that is how things are going."
Listen, man, we're not here because you brought us here. We're here and we're staying here because we want to. Now, leave Mashari go, and we'll be at the inn for the next couple of days And if you want something, you can come and talk to us again, and we will be happy to talk to you.
He will give a head nod to the boy, and the boy will immediately leave the room. He's saying, "This is not a conversation. I'm just telling you how this is going to play out. So either you come with me willingly and leave that cell, or I'm going to make you."
Well, I'm not sure about that thing. We're gonna do something we don't. But I think we should better go. Come on, husband. We'll come back to Masari later. We're not leaving him here, but we can do it from here too.
Okay. Just suggestion, man. You know you're not doing your job right, do you?
He narrows his eyes but does not respond. You can hear a commotion from beyond the door.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Tessa, you can actually see a spindly youth come into the guards room, and all of a sudden the room clears out as all these guards are following him.
I'm gonna hide away from where I currently am. Is one of the kids that saw me in the back playing in the grass?
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
45 away from you.
Oh yeah, no. As soon as that kid was heading towards the door, I was just like, bye. I am now somewhere across the street hiding in underbrush.
Okay. Alright,
Just all arrested.
But I am watching the spindly youth to see where he's potentially leading all of these guards.
oh no, sorry, I meant the young guardsman, the tall guy.
Oh. Okay.
The kids in the back, now that you brought it up, you actually do see one walking towards you. I wasn't gonna just give that
No,
away.
I
but
mean, I'm
oh
gone
well.
anyway. I was just under the second I saw activity in the guards barracks.
Okay,
I was
okay.
disappearing from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like he's bringing out all of the guards that were in the guard barracks?
Except for one.
Except for one.
The one with the crossbow is still waiting there.
All right, so I'm just
Are
gonna
these
stay
the same
this
one that
way
we
looking.
see?
For what you guys see, no. All you can see in your room right now is the veteran, and there's noise outside after the tall kid left, the tall guardsman.
Can I see where the tall kid's leading those guardsmen?
Yeah, it's to another door on the far side of the room.
Okay. All right, so she's just gonna stay across the street for a little bit and just give it like 10 seconds maybe, and then move back towards the window. So wait, is the small kid from the back actually going there or no?
One of the kids that was playing, was walking towards you, and is seeming to actively make a point to follow you.
Okay. She will. How old's this kid? Like, what does he look like?
He's probably 8.
Probably 8,
Grubby,
okay.
crazy hair. There's dirt on him.
All right, no awkwardly seducing a teenager then. Never mind. So she's just gonna come out, like, reach into her bag, just start flipping a coin and just twirl it between her fingers, disappear it, twirl it again, disappear it, making a somewhat flashy show. She's just wandering idly around the street, and she sees the kid coming up, acts totally surprised. Oh, but hello there.
This kid will look up at you and say, "Miss, you shouldn't be there. It's dangerous."
Oh, by the guard barracks? What do you mean?
They're working with those gangsters.
Oh no. Truly?
I saw Tam. He's mentioning what is it? Tam Alderleaf. Tam Alderleaf, he was in the woods the other day, and he saw them together.
That's terrible.
If you're new in town, you should go. It's not safe here.
I should, but unfortunately I have people who are working with me who have a much bigger conscience than they have, well, anyway. However, you seem like a smart, bright, determined young thing. Do you like the way things are right now?
No.
Or is it more that you're feeling helpless and want things to get better again?
Well, just kind of look down, and he's just kind of fiddling with a piece of string in his hand. It's like, well, I just want my ma to be happy again.
And that is the noblest goal of them all. I'm going to ask you a favor. Do you think you could be brave for me? And for your mom?
He'll look up at you expectantly.
The barracks over there, by the window I was leaning at. There's a guard inside, and he's one of the bad people. But he wouldn't hurt a child because even they have limits. I need you to tell him that your friend hurt his leg, and he needs help getting back to town. I need you to just cry, scream, act your age and more scared than you truly are. And I need you to bravely lead him as far away from the office as you can and just keep him busy. Spin him around in circles. And I'll see what I can do about making this place a little bit safer for you and yours.
This bright, mischievous smile kind of goes across his face. It's like, I can do that. I've done that in stealing pies from Mrs. Bakery.
Oh, you're a precocious one, aren't you? Alright, tell you what, you do this successfully and you do it with panache, and I'll give you a gold piece to really make your mouth smile at the end of the day.
His eyes light up, and he just books it towards the entrance.
That's so. If you've got other friends, a whole band would do even better. The
He'll
bigger
stop.
the distraction, the more you can lure out, the better.
He'll stop, turn around, and you're like, now?
Right now. Get as many of the guards out as you possibly can and keep them busy.
He will nod and book it in another direction.
Have fun. Do you smell that? Chaos in the wings. And she's just gonna whistle to herself, twirl the coin around again, and flip it once. And just as it's flipping, just catches it midway, holding up so that you can see both sides of the coin are heads, and then stow it away back in her pocket.
Fade to black. Out of the darkness, you can see a single light. The light grows to be a candle. Within it, you see a single camel illuminating a shard in a dark room.
I'll
the
be right
scene.
back.
Okay. So, Shara, you have just been left here.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly small room. You could see out the barred window, and you just saw a bunch of guards leave.
Where are y'all going?
Nothing.
Shoot. Is the door still locked? She tries the door again.
Still locked.
Is there anything else in this room? Kind of walks around in a circle.
Scuffed wooden table with scour marks on it. 2 wooden chairs. Bare.
Nothing on the walls?
Plain except for the barred window.
Is the door just like a solid thing of wood?
Yeah, it's an oaken door. It's got some brass metal plating around the hinges. It actually seems like it's a bit higher quality than it should be for this type of thing. It looks a little more fancy than it does look practical.
Huh. She's trying to decide. The plating that's holding the door to the wall, how does it look?
Keeping it attached to the wall. You can make an investigation check for me.
That'll go okay, hopefully.
Hopefully.
If the dice finally are kind of... 13?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can see where it's connected. On this side of the door, you can actually see the bolts that are securing it into the hinges.
Can I start trying to open them?
You could. That would be... A tool would help. It would be either sleight of hand or strength.
Because she was gonna do where she try and takes her rapier, part of it, kind of use it as a screwdriver and
try to kind of get leverage
Yeah.
on that.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. That seems plausible. I'll give you advantage on that roll.
All right, she'll do sleight of hand.
Mhm.
18.
18. You're wiggling and finagling, and this bolt, just you get a sweet spot and it goes, doof, and it's almost out. You could pretty much just rip it loose with your hand at this point.
And that's only for part of the door, right? Not the whole
That's the
thing.
bottom hinge. There's a top hinge as well.
Bottom hinge.
These are fairly large, like banded segments, like that.
Uh-huh.
And there's two, one at the bottom, one at the top.
Hey, come on! I want to know what's happening, or else I'm just gonna like remove this door, and she will pull out the bottom. She's annoyed. She doesn't want to be in here. It's kind of like locking a dog up in a crate. She's just gonna do whatever she can to get out.
All right.
Doesn't help that Deep Delver doesn't like being locked in small spaces for very long, so it's kind of in the back of her head.
Yeah. So as you get that one out, you can feel the door's weight shift and kind of.
Can she peek out at all now?
Yeah, there's actually decent cracks along the edges where it rotated.
Then she wants to look out and see what's happening.
All right, peering through the cracks, you can see as in the other room, guards begin to pour in. So, cut to you guys. Yeah, the door opens and the thin, tall guardsman will lead a bunch of other scruffy men in uniform into the room. They're all armed, but they seem to just be there to enforce you leaving this place.
We'll see how many are there and if they know how to handle their weapons or not.
There is 5 plus the guy who brought him in, 6, and the veteran. So that's 7 in total. And sorry, what were you wanting to know about them?
Do they seem to know how to use their weapons? You
Oh.
said that they were kids, they would have loose uniforms.
If you want to
It
know,
doesn't seem very...
if you know exact extent, that would be an insight check. But it doesn't seem like these are the best trained.
Yeah. I'm doing insight check either way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You think that these guys were probably farmers and miners who have been recruited into the guard.
Oh, poor guys.
So not
They don't
very
wanna be
competent.
Kill them.
Can I turn to the veteran and say, okay, we're leaving. Either way, we don't have to bring these guards over here. Even though they don't really seem like guards. What's going on in this town? What's happening?
He will say, "What happens in this town is not of your concern unless you get in our way."
Okay, sorry. That's curious. We just arrived yesterday. We were bringing things for questioning today with no apparent reason, and we're being accused for murders, as my husband says, for not apparent reasons. Sorry, I'm a little bit curious. Either way, we were here to help the town. We brought the supplies for Roxy here.
the young boy is clearly the teenaged guardsman. I gotta figure out a better way to say him because I haven't told you his name yet. He seems like he wants to. He's clearly torn, but the veteran will say, "It's time for you to leave," and will extend a hand towards the door, and the guardsmen will all kind of move forward.
As we leave, can I do a gesture to the young boy that I want to talk to him, to the young guard?
Oh yeah, you can try to talk to him.
No, I want to do a gesture like, I would like to talk to you later.
Oh,
Something like
oh,
that.
okay. Yeah,
And
That
as
would
we're
be-
leaving, oh, sorry, go ahead.
there's a lot of people there, so that would be a difficult sleight of hand check.
You
I
can
would
do
try anyway. So.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand, huh? What's wrong with my character sheet? Let me just open it here. Okay.
So actually, you go to kind of make a circuitous motion to try to get his attention, but like there's a bunch of heads turned towards, and everyone's kind of confused at what you're doing. But they're just gonna move forward and try to escort you out.
Okay.
Okay. So as we're leaving, can I look down the hallways that we're passing? If there is an open door, and try to figure out the layout of the building? If there are other rooms or...
Yeah. So as you're leaving, this was the holding area.
Mm-hmm.
They will basically take you out the door you entered, which is into like this main hall type area. Very nice flooring. There's like ornamental like stag heads mounted on the wall, and it seems to be an area that they could pull up a bunch of chairs for like town meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Along the far side, there's 2 doors on either side of a raised stage. And you don't know where those go. That said, the whole left side of this room has windows leading outside, so there's light kind of coming in at an angle.
Yeah, okay.
That's the layout from what you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so if you guys just follow along, they will start to move you and yeah, just basically just manhandle you out of the building.
Yeah, as soon as we go out and like pass across the road, we're starting to look for this.
Well, not this, farm lady. Farmer lady.
Yeah.
Random generic farmer.
guy.
Yeah.
Farmer guy.
Yeah.
Background farmer number 6.
Yes. Actually, Aisa, I can make you take a perception check as you're being pushed out the door. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As you're being manhandled out, you notice that a hand is entering your pocket.
Whoa.
Can I grab that hand?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Just yeah, just make a very easy What would that be?
Strength, dexterity.
Dexterity, yeah, to try to grab it.
Oh,
So you make a move as if to grab it, but it's gone. And you're not exactly sure who put their hand in your pocket. But now you've kind of been tossed forwards, and the guards all recede into the building, and the door slams shut.
it was the stolen.
Check the pocket.
Yeah, what
I'm
happened?
I'm checking to see what's missing.
Nothing is missing, and there's an extra piece of paper in there.
Oh!
Okay, as soon as I touch it, I'm grabbing Einar and drag him across the streets and take out the notes and see what it says.
It says, right at the top,
I am confused.
right at the top of this letter, it says, "My name is Tobis. Please."
Wrote that!
It is very quickly scrawled on a piece of paper. Underneath
see.
that,
What?
underneath
What is
that,
going on here?
it says, "Please meet me at the Edermath Orchard tonight at 6."
I'm going back to town to the building.
And as you were reading,
Everyone knows but Mashari. This is
yeah,
awful.
as you were reading this note, across the street, you just feel, Anna, you just feel, Asa, you just feel Tessa's hands on either of your shoulders. She peeks over and says, "Oh, that's interesting." Pops out from behind a random bush.
Interesting is what's going to happen to that guy. I'll tell you what's interesting. I'm going back to the building. I'm knocking on the door.
Oh, Anna, if you'll just wait a moment, I have a distraction come up so we can get Mashari out.
I don't care about Mashari. He's hitting on my wife.
He's not hitting on your wife. Alright, fine. You know what? You can deal with any marital issue. Get Mashari out. She ruins everything.
Calm down. It's that kid from inside the building, the guard.
What did you do while I was gone?
Nothing. That's not
Why
a
is,
kid
why,
of his.
why is he telling you? Why is he telling you to meet him?
Because
Presumably
I
so
think
he can do something. It's confirmed, by the way. I had a very charming little child tell me that the guard are in fact working with the Red Brands, which shouldn't come as too much of a shock, but it's absolutely confirmed now.
Okay, we need to take Mashari out of there.
Yes, exactly. Which is why if you'll wait just a minute, I would like to get Mashari out of there before something unfortunate and accidental happens to her.
Yeah. What was the name written on the paper? Again?
Tobis.
Tobis.
Here,
Ah,
I'll,
what an unfortunate name.
Tobis. Yeah, he's gonna die first.
no, we're not dancing.
Tobis,
Okay.
stop.
Alright.
Listen to me. Listen to me. For a second.
I'm taking my gravestone out, I'm writing his... Like, his name is written down.
Hey now, Anessa, if you could help me, I do actually have a plan in mind to get Mashari out of there. Hopefully.
Okay,
Okay,
but
what's the plan?
instant that the guards aren't, they don't know how to use their weapons, they're just farmers.
Well, hopefully we won't even need to fight them in the first place because they might be needed later. So what the plan is there should be a sizable amount of children, perhaps, coming around, telling some fantastical tale about how little Timmy fell down a well, or maybe there's a pack of wolves threatening some farmers. I don't quite know. I'm looking forward to finding out, though. Anyway, they're going to try and lure as many guards as they can away from the building, after which point I am going to enter through the barracks, circle around to... Oh, do you know the layout of this building? Can you explain it to me? I'd rather not take any wrong turns.
I'll explain what we've seen. As far as I remember. Oh, as far as Einar remembers.
I just need to know how to get to your interrogation room. She's still there, as far as I can tell.
you can relay that information quite easily.
Yeah, you get through the main hall, you take a left. Right, that is right. You take a right, and and you go to the interrogation room in the cell.
Wonderful. So as soon as the children arrive and lure away as many of these people as they can, I'm going to go in through the hopefully empty barracks, or the main entrance if I must, or through a window if I can, and get Mashari out. And as soon as that happens, maybe it's time to go deal with the manor, or at least stay out of sight for a little bit.
Yeah. Right after we kill Tobis. I kill Tobis.
You're not dancing that high.
Let's.
Yep.
I mean, if you've got
Okay.
Tobis, if you've got
That's
him on your hit
Mashari's
list, that's
buddy. Leave him
fine.
alone.
If you've got him on your hit list, that's fine. But I get the impression he at least wants to tell us about what's going wrong, so we can listen to that first, and then we can kill him if you must.
I don't think you understand the weight of the situation here.
I don't doubt that he apparently needs to die for flirting with your wife. I'm just saying that he has something valuable to say first. Anyway, I'm just going to keep an eye out for the children in the right now. If the two of you could just guard my exit point, as in, like, stay outside the barracks entrance door and make sure I'm not going to be blocked in there, that would be great.
Oh, don't worry, that would be easy.
Wonderful. So let's just wait, see what happens, and then take effect.
How long are we waiting?
Well, hopefully not too long, but we'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so you guys wait around outside, and it doesn't take long before you see a veritable army of children running down the street.
Oh, this is better than anything I could have hoped for.
Yeah, there's at least 16 of them, and they seem to be armed with slingshots.
Oh boy.
The kids will run up, and as the guy near the front, he'll see you, and he'll run up. It's like, I got him! Can we do it now?
Send your volley forth, young general.
Okay, he will do so. He will turn, and he will basically look at a bunch of the kids, and he'll say, "Go, go, go!" And a bunch of the kids with the slingshots will run around the side and start smashing rocks through the window on one side. And the other kids are charging the door.
Now this is everything I could have hoped for and more.
So chaos erupts as you hear several angered voices from inside, and guards just start pouring out, some of which have children latched onto them. Yeah, so this goes on for like a good 2 minutes, where it's just chaos with them being chased and run around, and one of them will run out of the door holding a very large urn in his hands. And he's just booking it down the street, and all the other children are following after him, and the guards are just trailing behind.
What's happening with Mashari while this is happening?
many
Is she
guards?
hearing the chaos?
Yes, Mashari, you have a great view of this.
Can she start working on the second bolt to get the door down?
Absolutely,
Yes,
yes.
both
Please make
pieces
another
understand.
check. If you're using a rapier, you can use it, get advantage.
And it is as the chase begins that Tessa just slips across the street and
13.
into the guard barracks entry and starts making her way towards the
Wait, wait,
window.
wait. How many guards are they going after the kids?
There's 5 guards going after them, including the spindly guy you saw before. And imposingly coming out of the entrance is the captain of the guard, holding 2 kids by the scruff of their necks, and he just throws them out onto the street.
Alright, so as I slip across the road towards the barracks, I just say, Ena, Asa, if you want to argue with the captain about how you were poorly treated and keep him distracted, now would be an excellent time to do so. I just make my way straight towards the barrack entrance.
Yeah, the captain is kind of on the side as he's talking with some other guards and trying to deal with the chaos around him. As everything's screaming
Mashari's
out.
desperately trying to get it off. Come on, come on.
I'm
come on,
going
come
on to the
come
captain.
come on.
Okay, Mashari, you can make that roll, and then...
I did 13.
13, sorry?
13.
13! Wonderful. So, yeah, much like the last one, it... ching, and, it is right on the edge.
Mashari tries to kick the door away from her.
The point is to be
Strength it! Give me a strength check on that real quick.
is gonna break her ankle.
It'll be fine.
Well,
Yeah, the door doesn't open like that. It opens like that and just kind of crumples to the ground and is on the side. It is an open passageway now for you.
Is Tessa in the building yet?
You can make a stealth check for me, and then yeah.
Alright. Is it an advantage since everyone's so crazily distracted?
Absolutely.
That'll be a 23.
Yeah, so you just slip in through the door. You're inside. You see, in this main area, the kids have done their work very well. There's shards of glass all on the left-hand side. There, like, a lot of the ornamental stuff that was along the walls has either been knocked askew, or some of the lower hanging ones have been knocked down.
Do any of them look particularly enticing?
Well, there is what appears to be a coat of arms on one section. There is several animal heads mounted. And then there's a lot of, like banner stuff along the side.
Too sizable. Maybe later. And she'll just slip in, poke her head through the main room. Does it look clear enough that she can edge her way toward the direction Xanar gave her?
Absolutely.
Alright, she slips in, sees the broken door and Mashari stepping out, and says, no, I'm not going to ask. Come with me. Come on.
okay.
Let's go. And she's gonna just lead her straight out the barracks door, and then as soon as she like meets either Anna or Ace's eyes, just yank Mashari out of sight in the back of the building, and start making their way sort of in the direction of the Tressendar Manor, actually, eastward.
Okay, Nishari, can you give me a stealth check as you are also being snuck out of here?
Oh boy, do I get advantage?
Yes.
Okay, good. 15.
You
Thank God,
just do it. You guys duck around the corner right as the guardsman is turning towards you. He sees nothing.
Excellent. Keep moving. We're going to keep you out of town for a little bit because jailbreak. This is your first time with the whole jailbird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Stay low.
but I've never. Okay. All right, got it.
Quiet.
Got it.
We may have a nap in the woods depending on how tonight goes. We'll see.
Oh, that's not fun.
Oh, come on. It's the spirit of adventure. Isn't that what you're all about?
Yeah, but camping means bugs. Oh.
I slept in the sewer, so you can sleep in the woods. Trust me.
Ew. Why?
Well, because I was being chased.
By who?
Quite a few people, actually. As it turns out, when you steal from a local baron, people get angry.
You did what?
Nothing. You heard nothing. Let's go.
Okay.
So,
There's Tono outside with the kids and the other guard.
Tobin ran down the street, heading north up towards the Barthen's Provisions and out of town.
Tono, the head of the veteran.
Oh, no, he is pretty much, just outside of the town master's hall. He's chatting with a guard that you don't recognize. But he's kind of off to the side. And they got, honestly, he's swearing quite loudly. Just as a bit of advice here, if you guys stay across the street for long enough, that might be suspicious.
You did, Tessa did meet Tessa and Anar's eyes and was, come on, and headed east.
I want to go to Toner and talk to him. You said he was taking 2 kids and...
Yeah, he took 2 kids, he threw them out, and then he went to talk to some guards who were, yeah.
Okay, I wanna go there and talk to him. Real quick. Hey, Toner. Listen, I don't care about you ruining our morning. I just wanna know, who is this Tobias guy?
He will kind of look at you, and he's got like a flash of anger in his eyes, and then confusion, as you name one of his guardsmen. It's like, you didn't have anything to do with this, did you?
What is this? The kids? Yeah, sure, I was locked in the cell and I had something to do with the kids. I'm actually about the toughest guy. I don't care about whatever happens here. Just, I want to let you know. I want you to keep your guards in line.
Jesus.
I'm running. Thanks.
So he's,
Close and getting rage.
the red is going up his face, and he wants to say something, and he just slams his fist against the side of the townhouse, and some glass breaks free from the window nearby. It's like, damn it. Just get out of here. I'll deal with them myself.
I'm grabbing Gaina from his arm and says, sorry for disturbing you, we're leaving. And like dragging him away from there. Come on, have fun, don't be like that. Come on.
Okay, and as we're leaving, I'm shouting at him, keep your men in line!
He will begin to,
Especially the dumbest guy.
he'll begin to march after his guards, and just yelling out, it's like, get those boys back here! You, get everything back together! You! And just it kind of fades out as he runs off.
Alright. While this is all going on, as soon as Tessa and Mashari see mostly in the clear, Tessa's just going to push Mashari towards the tree line and say, wait there, I'll be there in a minute. And then she's just going to make a quick look around and see if she can spot the little ringleader kid that she spoke to earlier.
This caused general mayhem in town, so you can see that the regular townsfolk have all, like, they're just desperately trying to hold on to whatever they were holding on to before this was going on. The kids have generally dispersed, but you can still hear the noise, and you can see, like, between buildings, like, the flash of a small body followed by a much larger one, as they just kind of disappear into the woodwork of this town. You don't see him.
Alright, I'll find and pay him later. I suppose.
Alright, so you
Alright.
guys are
What
heading
are we doing
east?
now?
Staying out of sight, for starters, and we're going to get rid of these damn red brands before they turn everyone in town against us.
Sounds good to me. They seem really mean, especially if they're making all these nice people be guards when they really don't want to.
Yes, it's quite an issue. I'm sure everyone's nice and innocent and not implicit. That's how the world works. Everyone's obviously good until it... Okay, never mind. We'll take care of them.
These people end up getting pressured, and you know, sometimes they might do bad things, but ultimately they're probably not bad people.
Darling,
They
if
just
you
wanna
do
protect their
bad
town.
things, that does actually, in some small part, make you a bad person. It doesn't
No.
matter what excuses you give.
I think we will learn a little more about these things tonight when we're gonna meet Tobias.
Yes. So the real question is, do we want to wait until we can meet Tobis, or do we want to go and take care of some of the red... Or at least scope things out and see what we're really dealing with?
I'm not sure if we want to bring more attention to us right now by going after the red branches. So
Okay.
maybe later.
Alright,
Maybe
well in that
still go
case...
for now.
Let's
And
have a nice-
Einar, you're not coming tonight with me.
Oh, I am coming, alright.
No, you're not. You're staying with
Sweet.
Masari, and I'm taking Tessa with me.
So wait, the person who wrote the note was the young guard, we think? The one I wanted to know the name of?
Yes, Masari.
Oh
Sorry, were you
Okay.
flirting with the baby guard?
no, gross.
Yes,
No.
it was.
No, I
Yes,
was
it
not.
Mashari, don't flirt with the local guard. That's not
I didn't-
good. That leads to
I didn't-
trouble.
I didn't mean to flirt with him. That wasn't the purpose. I just wanted to know his name.
Oh dear.
He's too big and something for me.
I see you got to know him quite well, apparently. In the span of just a few minutes.
He's too tall. I don't like it.
Uh-huh. Paul, that's what
No
you meant by
human.
big.
No human should
Quite
get
big.
that tall. Yeah, no human should get that tall. That's just absurd.
I'm going to
It's
leave
not
you
even-
and your discoveries of self kinks to
What?
discuss on your own time. I don't really want to
Ah.
hear that.
Tessa, that's mean.
That's mean? What I mean?
No. Tessa, that's mean. You know what I mean. You know what I was talking about.
I know what you mean. Yes, Asa, I would be happy to join you on your visit to this Tobis fellow.
Same.
Oh no, Mashari, you should
No.
probably not stay here.
What?
If you thought you were flirting with him, that's
Yeah.
it's just gonna make everything awkward.
Not coming with
No,
us.
no, come on. I know his name now. I want to.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
you're
let me come
staying
in. I don't
low.
like being like,
You
I'm not
and
staying with
Jane.
him. I'm not. No,
Yeah,
no, I'm not staying
yeah.
with him.
Yes,
No,
you are.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You can
No,
stay
I'm
with
not.
Aenar.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you can.
And I promise to be good to Masari, please.
No, 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 no. I'm not staying with
Yeah,
him.
I'll be good.
Like I said
Simon.
earlier, too tall for a
going to-
human. I don't want to stay with him. I want to go with you guys.
She's not going to even notice I'm here.
All right. Well, I'm not wanted in town, so if we're just going to stay here, I'm gonna go see what's really going on in a bit of it. I don't look like me. I wasn't arrested. No one's looking for me.
Well,
I'll be back in a bit.
nobody was except Masari. No one else is worried.
That's fair.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
What
get
exactly?
what happened.
Yeah,
I
what exactly
suspect-
did the kids told you? Tell you? Tessa.
Me? Yes. Apparently, Tam Alderleaf, I suspect one of the farmers, scouts, people, one of them. Apparently, this individual saw the guard, or one of them, or several of them, discussing things with the Red Brands out in the woods in secret like. Which is rather hard to interpret as anything other than the guards are, in fact, working with the Red Brands. Though,
Yeah,
I mean, from what missives
we
we've
know-
already got. Yeah, it's kind of an open secret.
We've learned that the Red Brands have permission from the mayor or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
this Harbin Wester fellow. We knew that earlier. Real question is, you spoke to the scruffy, angry head guard fellow, yes?
Yeah, the veteran.
I mean, he seemed like an asshole to me, but did he seem like an evil asshole? During his
No,
job.
I think he was doing his job. I'm not sure even if he knows what's going on with the Red Brands is.
Well, if that's the case, why don't we just change the orders?
Like, what are you suggesting?
Like,
I'm
kill
saying
the
that if it's...
mayor?
Oh, not necessarily kill him, just remove him from the picture for a bit. He's got a terrible head cold, but he's able to write letters. And
How are
I'm
we
able to
going
write
to
letters.
remove him from the picture?
I can do it. Give me half an hour and let's see what I can figure out.
You're
When's
kind of
the
scary.
meeting?
Where's
6
the
p.m.?
one? 6 p.m.
How long do we have until the meeting with Tobis?
Yeah.
This was pretty early in the day, so I'd say at this point, it's noon.
We got plenty of time. If Harbin Wester is the problem, and the reason the guards are alongside the Red Brands, then let's get rid of Harbin Wester, or change the orders at least that this guard captain has received from Harbin Wester. 2 birds, 1 stone. If they're truly dissatisfied, if some of them are even at all noble, upstanding people who care about the peace, maybe they'll even help us take care of the Red Brands. You know, once their orders actually match what they should logically be. Any objections?
Mm-mm.
Alright. Well, first thing I need to do is figure out where this Harbin... And then I can work from there. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take advantage of the general chaos, see what I can figure out.
Good luck.
Okay. Where are we hiding Masari again?
I was
Oh,
just
I
trying
don't-
to keep us on the edge of town.
We can go. We can go at the inn that we cleared
Don't know we're
last
there.
night.
Oh, the inn we cleared last night. No, that's gotta be quarreling with guards. You know that's where everyone died.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, we can go. We can go with those. The one. The merchandise, the lost merchandise, and ask them to stay there. Do us a favor.
The Lion Shield coaster?
Maybe-
Yeah.
Perhaps. It's a bit of a gamble, though.
Yeah.
And that is right across the street from the Town Master's Hall.
Why don't
That's
we just
true.
go to the Why don't we just go to the orchard? We can hide in the trees.
Yeah, we can step out right here over the trees. Next to the farm.
All right.
Um,
I'm going to go change into something a little bit more appropriate for potentially distracting a man. And Tessa's just gonna duck around a tree and start changing into her noble woman's outfit because she's got a set of fine clothes as well.
Yep.
Oh my
just-
god.
Lower the neckline a little bit. Just make sure everything's fitting a little too well, and just get ready to effectively start flirting hardcore potentially with a mayor.
You look
Oh.
really pretty.
Thank you. I tried.
For this one, I'm actually gonna make you do use your disguise kit
Sure thing.
mechanically and see how it goes.
All right. Do you want me to make it with intelligence or dexterity or something else?
If you just click on that tool, it should give you a roll, right? It's an intelligence.
No, yeah. Yeah, it depends on which ability score you're using it with. Right
Oh.
now I have basically intelligence, but the DM chooses which ability score is most applicable.
Yeah. I would say it's intelligence for this.
All right.
It's less a dexterous act of getting the corset on and more knowing how to do it right.
Oh yeah, 18. She's done this before.
You're fine.
This is not the first scam she's pulled on a rich person.
All right.
Before she leaves, Isa takes out her necklace and give it to Masari. It's a small eye. It's a silver eye with a blue stone. And I'm telling to you that this is the eye of Odin. May he be with you and protect you. And make you a little prettier for that.
Oh, sorry, you're giving it to Tessa?
Yeah. But I want it back, please.
Oh, of course.
It's a family heirloom, so...
It's beautiful. I will keep it safe with my life. Actually, Asa, if I may ask one more favor, could you just fix the braids in my hair one last time? They look so lovely, and I'm afraid I might have messed any up. Processing.
Yeah, and I quickly braid her hair where they're loose.
Alright, Tessa does a little spin. How do I look?
You look really beautiful.
Wonderful. Alright, I'll be back soon. If you don't hear anything by the time we're supposed to meet with this Tobis fellow, see if you can't cause some trouble. But hopefully you won't need to worry. Toodles. And she starts heading off into town with a little bit of a sachet.
Okay, so the whole party is hanging out in the woods outside of town here, right at the edge, past the Alderleaf farm. You know you have to meet up with them at the Edermath Orchard, which is on the far side here. And yeah, Tessa wanders into town looking for information.
Yeah, so she starts assuming the sort of, I'm important and I know it, but I'm also out of place and clueless kind of walk.
Yeah, this is not a very big town, so there's not like fancy people walking all the time.
So she just assumes a sort of imperious air, and goes up to the nearest person who's not smart enough to walk away from a noble-looking person at speed, and just goes, You there. I have need of your services for half a moment.
It's an old man who just didn't notice you until you walked right up to him. Back slightly hunched grade, his face is very worn, probably a farmer.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me wherever I might find the person in charge of this quaint little town?
Oh, you're talking about Harbin, then? Yeah, no, he's behind the town master's hall. Careful, those kids are being amok again.
Oh, that's awful. Well, no accounting for the taste of youth. Well, thank you very much. So, does he work?
He
in the
catches
same
himself, takes off his hat, and says,
Milady.
way? A man of culture. I approve.
he gives you a smile, and he's missing a bunch of teeth.
Great. Okay. So Tessa will just pull out her. This is the false identity part of her charlatan background.
Mm-hmm.
Her false identity effectively names her as Marenia Markine, a noble from a distant land with an interest in expanding mercantile procedures of the shipments of wine and other certain fine drinks across the land. But the rumors that follow that she's been careful to deed in towns and cities that she's passed is that she's a bit clueless with money, and the right person could totally take advantage of that. So most of the people she interacts with are the ones who think they can con her so that she can then con them.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Assuming
this is
you've done
your
this a
cheat,
couple
fake
times.
identity then.
Yeah, this is my fake identity.
Yeah, assuming you've done this a couple times, you can tell that this place is pretty far off the beaten track. So odds are they hadn't heard of you yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just needs to. She knows how to carry herself like a noble, like papers of inheritance and all that. That's carefully forged, denoting her as a noble.
Okay.
All right.
And so you
going to
just
head
walk
off.
away?
Oh yeah, I mean, she'll look at him, sort of size him up, and tip him a silver for his trouble. Like sort of drop it in his hand from a few inches up.
He'll catch it with both hands, and he's like, and you just walk away. All right.
All right. So she's gonna head towards the town hall.
All right. Just want to see this real quick.
I think I can put it into the chat. Let me see.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't have
Most of
any.
It boils down to is she does have a paper trail. Like if people wanted to check in on the account.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So you're heading to the town hall. You can see that basically there is a giant bunch of kids that are just. There's ropes just tied around like a bundle of like 8 kids, and there's several guards just standing there, and there's a whole group of parents chiding and kind of yelling at the guards to let them go. And the captain of the guard is standing there trying to fend off angry parents.
All right. She's just gonna like look at that and just say, sort of idly, "Have I come at a bad time?"
One of the guards will turn towards you with his mouth open as if to say something, and it just gets closed when he sees you. It's like, Captain! Captain! And he'll get his attention. And the captain will see you and head on over, basically fronting the direction, all the questions directed at him, to another helpless guard on the side who seems a little lost. And he will say, "Yes, quite. I'm sorry." It's he'll take off his hat. It's like, "I'm the captain of the guard in this town. How may I help you?"
A pleasure. I am Marquesa Merely Marquis, and I have come because, unfortunately, I had a spot of trouble on the road. Goblins. I find myself in rather destitute condition, and I would like to speak with whoever might hold and place in this town of yours. I'm sorry, what's it called?
Phandelver, ma'am.
Phandelver. Well, it's a lovely place you've got here. I would like to speak with whoever's in charge so that I can get some placements for the evening properly suited out and see what I can't do to turn this terrible occasion into something of a more profitable venture.
Yes, well, we're very sorry about that. The roads, you really should have escorts. But
I did. Once. There were many of them.
I'm very sorry. Please, just come with me.
I shall.
And he will lead you into the manor. There's the general town hall center area, as described before. He will immediately take you to the door on the back left, which when he opens, it's like a large sitting area. There is a servant that is standing there, raises his eyebrow and then kind of steps out of the way. And he will walk you in and basically present you to this fairly nice velvet chair and say, "Please, wait here." And
Thank you for your service. And she'll just sort of daintily cross her legs and sit down.
the servant will run off, and you are left sitting in this waiting room. Fairly nicely furnished. There's a lamp on a on this side table.
That about it for just like nice but pretty sparsely furnished?
Actually, no. There's like a plate of like fruit as well, but again, fairly sparsely furnished. Much richer than other places you've seen in town, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just wipes it all, adjusts her hair a bit.
Oh, and there's actually a large chandelier above you as well.
Later.
All right. After a while, where is it? A balding, portly man will come down a set of stairs behind this servant, and will come up to you with a big smile on his face and say, "Welcome, esteemed guest. What may I do for you? I am the mayor of this town."
Oh, well, Mr. Mayor, may I ask your name? I am Marquesa Martinet.
Marquesa Martinet. A pretty name for a pretty woman.
Marina. Marquesa is my title. I believe in these lands it equates to roughly baronet.
Oh, of course. I'm very sorry. I am Harbin Wester.
A pleasure.
Please come with me. And he will lead you up the stairs into a lavishly furnished study with a large table, which he will sit behind and then offer a chair to you.
Thank you very much.
And he'll say, "So, what is it that an old man can do for you?"
Well, I am afraid I had an absolute terrible spot of luck on the road. I was traveling with an escort, and as she's just sort of laying out the brought her here, I'm just stealing the occasional glance around the room, just trying to get a weight of things.
Yeah, so there is a lot of, like, red wood, finely gilded. There's cabinets along the side. There's bookshelves full of books. Behind the chair that he's sitting in is two arched windows with painted glass in it. His desk has writing materials, quill, a lot of stacks of papers, and you can see off to one side there's a half-eaten meal. It's very richly furnished in general. There's like a nice carpet and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Are we the only two people in the room?
Only two people.
Alright, well, I'm afraid I came here under, well, better circumstances than I ended up with. But, I mean, what can you do? So, I'm here because I thought that you, of all people, as the mayor, would perhaps be able to make sure that my stay would be pleasurable and perhaps profitable for the both of us.
Oh, absolutely. The pleasure is all mine, I'm sure.
Oh, I couldn't be more uncertain of that. You are a charming and gallant gentleman. I find myself just... Truly, it's... The pleasure is mine.
He seems very flattered. He's just kind of soaking this up, and as he smiles, you can kind of see, like, the fold in his neck kind of go. Yeah.
Internally, Tessa's just like, oof, gross, this better be worth it. Gross. But externally, she's also... Okay. Well, wonderful. So, to start, I'm terribly sorry to impugn upon your company so much, but I'm afraid I don't have a place to stay for the night. Is there... And this must make me sound terribly overblown, but I'm used to certain luxuries. I'm sure you can understand.
And he'll just nod, and it's like,
Absolutely. The inn is no place for a fine lady like yourself. No, we have guest quarters here. Absolutely, you can... I'm sure it'll be fine.
That's so kind of you to hear.
It's my pleasure.
And Quick note: is he wearing a ring, like a wedding ring of it?
No wedding ring. However, there's rings on pretty much every other finger.
Duly noted. So after the conversation just continues on, like, flattering banter for another couple minutes, she'll just say, I'm afraid this is terribly rude of me to ask, good mayor, but how on earth is it a man so charming as you has yet to be married?
Oh, well, and you'll feel kind of like, it's nothing really. It just,
Nothing.
well, there's certain things in life that have priorities, and, well, I don't, how would you say? There's definitely many women out there who are too fine, for the likes of me, but, there's always something in life that one can strive for.
What I've found is that when you're striving for something, ever so often the answer, and she just sort of leans forward a little bit, is right in front of you all along.
He is blatantly staring. Just, like, walking eyes, and it's just like, yes, well, yeah, yes,
Well, my good mayor, I do hate to just constantly be overstepping what might be boundaries, but I've always been a woman who knows what she wants and goes for it. Tonight, are you doing anything?
and he has some papers on his desk, and you'll just kind of push them aside and lean forward. For you, nothing at all.
I'm so happy to hear it. Tell me, what would be better in your mind? A romantic walk on just at the outer borders of the woods to watch the sun sink into the horizon? Or a dinner, just the two of us at your home?
I think a dinner would do better.
Wonderful.
Things are not as orderly as I'd like in this small town.
Oh,
However,
no, truly?
within my manor itself, you are safe as can be.
Nothing would make me happier.
And so he will call the servant, and basically say, to dinner then. And, they will,
Until dinner.
he'll basically say the servant will escort you to your room.
Alright. So she will
Still,
follow the
everything that's
servant.
not nailed down.
Oh, you better believe it. She's been making a shopping building.
Yeah, like, even the plates here are very nice. There's a lot of stuff that you could,
Oh, yeah, every time she's not being watched, she's just like slipping a silver thing into her, disappearing.
If you are wanting to do that, like, over time, as you're just in here and just kind of sneaking things out, I can make you do one sleight of hand check just to cover it all.
Alright, she's
Just
only
gotta
doing
see
it when
what you
people
get.
are not in the...
Yeah.
But sleight of hand... 19.
Ooh. You've got... Again, what's not nailed down, but being circuitous about it, like getting things inside the drawers and not on top of the cabinets, not things that are exceptionally obvious. Do you want a list of items? Because it's all just miscellaneous bits, or do you want just like total
Well, actually,
value
one
of
thing
what
she
you've
was
currently
looking
pilfered?
for- one thing she was looking for is, as she was leaning forward back in Harbin Webster's office, like during that one scene where he was just pushing his papers.
Yep.
Did any of the papers fall to the floor?
No, they did not.
Okay, because she was going to try, if it is all possible, to try and slip one of the samples of his handwriting and disappear.
If you wanted to slip that from the table as he's like walking eyes with you or whatever, that would be a separate check.
I think I don't really like rolling back things, so I think she'll just wait for an opportunity,
Okay.
because that would retroactively do stuff.
Yes, it would be retroactive.
All right. So guest rooms, are they on the first floor or the second floor?
Second.
Alright.
You're basically just down this long hallway, and it is a very nice room. You have a 4-banister bed, a small sitting area, and large windows overlooking the field.
Alright, yeah, Tessa's just gonna be like, oh, well, I should go back and tell them what's going on, but this is so nice, and she's just gonna lie down on the bed. I think, her rope's still in the inn, so she can't climb out the window comfortably, especially not in what she's wearing right now, so she's just gonna, she's just gonna stay there for now. I don't think there's anything she can really do. Not if she wants to continue this ruse. So, yeah, no, she's just gonna stay put for now. So that's all she's doing as well.
All right, what's the rest of the party want to do?
So I think that when we says back, are we going all together or am I going?
Oh, to go meet Tobis?
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, we're going all together.
Oh God.
I'm not sure
You
if that's
can't
a
be.
good
I know.
idea.
Einar, I know you want to be mean to him, but I really don't think he was flirting with his wife.
I don't want to be mean. It's just the thing's gonna be.
You want to lay on bed with him, so I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Either
What?
of you come
What do I
with
want
me,
to do? What do I want to do?
get in bed with him.
Ew, no.
I'm taking a step backwards.
No, I don't. No.
He's like 17-ish. That's marriageable age.
I know. That's even worse. He's like a kid.
Marriageable age.
No thanks. I'm 25. I'm good.
Okay, just saying.
Marriageable age.
No, thank you. I just want to know his name. He looks so young and sad among the guards. I just want to make sure he's okay.
Tessa is extremely tempted right now to just potentially stick with this mayor for a few years, take him.
Thank him for everything
The
he's
idea
done.
has crossed her mind.
Maybe just stay here.
No, I don't want to stay here.
We can get you in the town either way. Hey, now.
We can go.
Could you
We
stay
can
here
go
with
around
her?
town.
Yeah, go
No,
around.
I'm not discussing it. I'm coming. I want to meet that Tobias guy.
Okay, but promise you will be good.
I'll be what?
You'll be good.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You'll be good. You're not going to terrify
Oh
her?
yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I'll be good. I'll behave appropriately. Yeah, if I may add.
Please. I'm not being hurt right now. Okay. Then we.
Sorry, I totally lost focus for like 2 seconds. If you ask me if
Oh,
my
we
shit.
were fighting. That's
I'll
such a
take
big-
it. Okay. I'm. Oof. Yeah, wake up.
So we're going to Edelmath Orchard, right?
Yeah, we can go around town. We don't need
Yeah.
to go inside the town. We can go like.
Okay, so I think maybe like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. You would have to
No,
go,
we've been passing the manor. I suggest we go the other direction.
and you would have to climb some steep embankments to get up those hills.
Yeah, I say
Okay.
go through the various farms all around.
Yeah, okay, let's go like
that
this.
way.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go around that way, you will pass the Miners Trail, which is abandoned currently. There is some small farms, and you do see some people working in the fields, but you can just sneak by them.
Okay.
Assuming enough time. So yeah, you can work your way around the outside of town to get to Edermath Orchard.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
All right. Here, I'll move that. So this is a fairly large orchard. Let's see what I got here. I think it's just apple trees. Let's see here. And as you are kind of on the outskirts of this area, you see there is a figure just walking through the orchard.
A figure like a young man or an old guy.
It is not Tobis, from what you can see. Looking closer, it seems to be a fit, silver-haired elf. And he's just kind of gliding through the orchard and like picking apples into a bucket.
No.
Okay.
Probably owns it. He probably owns it. Well,
Excuse me, sir.
what did I just say?
I don't know, you gotta...
You're not stealing anything.
I couldn't hear
The
you.
guy.
I was like, maybe we should stay hidden. He probably owns the place. And apparently we're stepping outside.
You step out and talk to this guy.
Yeah.
You grab his attention, and he will turn towards you and say, "Hello there. What may I do for you? And why are you in my
Are you-
orchard?"
Are you the owner of this orchid?
Yes, I am Darren Edamath. This is my orchard.
It's beautiful. My name is Isaac Garnhel.
Yes.
We're looking for a young man. Tobias is his name. Do you know where we can find him?
Tobis. Yes, I know. The young lad. Joined the guards, if I remember correctly. What makes you think he will be here?
Well, he said he wanted to make me here.
And so he just kind of thinks it's like,
I have never talked with him. However, if he said to meet you here, he probably should have asked me first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he had your permission.
No, it's alright.
and he will kind of walk up and hand to you like a gleaming red apple. It's like, apple.
Oh, thank you. I thank you.
And he will look over at the rest of your party and say, "And who are your friends?"
Hi.
Well, this is my husband, Einar, and
Hi.
this is our friend, Masari.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you. A tiefling. They're rare in these parts.
Yeah, no one's been very nice about it. Great.
Well, that is truly a shame then. Here,
And he'll pass you an apple.
Oh, thank you.
And then you'll kind of turn and offer one to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Just a quick question. Have we seen a lot of elves here? I think he's the first one we see.
This is, I think, the priestess is a half-elf, from the shrine of Lathander.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not many non-humans here.
Okay.
This will be the first elf
You
you've
said
seen.
this is an elf or a drow elf?
Elf.
Elf, okay.
With white hair. Like yours.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
very fit, very slim, sharp features. Silver hair just kind of flows back down to the small of his back. And you can see the signs of age on him, which means he is probably quite ancient indeed.
Oh.
Have you had this orchard since it was like little saplings?
The orchard is not saplings, they're fairly well grown.
No. She asked, has he had this orchard since?
Oh, sorry. And he said, "Why, yes, I have. Do you like
You've done a
it?"
really good job. Yeah, you've done a really good job.
Thank you.
Well, since you live so many years here, maybe you know what's going on in the city. We just came yesterday and it seems that a lot of things are going wrong.
Yes, it seems things have been getting increasingly difficult. The red brand's going around causing trouble. If I were younger, I'd show them a thing or two.
And why is that? We've heard that they have the permission of the mayor. How is this possible? Why does he leave them?
Haben Wester is a pompous old fool who is intimidated by the likes of them. It is not a pleasant business, and, well, now that I look at you properly, and he'll kind of gaze over you, you seem well outfitted for a quest of this venture. A venture of this type.
What quest are you talking about?
And he'll sigh. Ever since the Red Brands took over, things have been going less peacefully than they used to. My orchard here has always been a sanctuary, however, I do care about the humans that live in this town. And if the Red Brands were to disappear, well, I think all would be better for it.
We want to help in that.
Well, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. Until then, feel free to wander my orchard.
You can give us more information if you have. Do you know what business does the members of the guard have with the Red Brands? And why are they meeting alone in the forest?
He will close his eyes, and he will just think for a moment. And he will say, while I am not surprised that the guards are working with them, you see, Haben Wester, the self-proclaimed leader of this town, he is not strong-willed. So if the Red Brands asked him for something, I doubt he would refuse them. The guards might be an extension of that. As for a meeting, I do not know. I was not there.
So, if someone were to get rid of the Red Brands, how would the mayor react to that, or the guard? What do you think?
The guard's loyalty ultimately lies with the mayor. And while the mayor licks the Red Brand's boots, I don't suspect he will continue harboring them if they are made and properly put in their place. That said, Harbin's had a lot coming to him. So if he were to be removed from power some way, while tragic, it might be good for this town.
And who might be the next one in line to get his place?
Frankly, I don't know. I mostly just stay in my orchard.
Who do the people trust?
Well, this town is made up of good folk. There's plenty around who could potentially go for the title.
Maybe Rockseeker is one of them?
The Rockseeker brothers, they've always been more miners than leaders.
Are you interested in the title? I mean, you've lived so many years, and you must be wise.
He kind of shakes his head, and it's like, I have been here since, shortly after the first Phandelver was destroyed. And though it's nice to see people come back here, I try not to interfere with their affairs. I am not a leader. I've left that title behind me.
Okay.
I just want to live out my retirement in peace.
Thank you for your time and for the apples.
Anytime.
Thank you for letting us use your orchard.
Yeah, thanks.
He will nod and glide away. You can see on the other side of the orchard there is a small cottage. And that's where he will walk to and just go inside.
We will keep looking for zombies.
So
We will find
6 o'clock comes around, and I'm assuming, Tessa, you're just staying in your rooms this whole time?
I am enjoying silk sheets, and all of the luxuries of my wealthy.
Yeah, he's pretty much hoarded a lot of the money for his manor, so...
She is living her high life right now. It's good.
So 6 o'clock rolls around, and there's no Tobis. And then you wait. It's 6:15, 6:30. Nothing yet.
Aww.
I think we should start leaving this place.
Are we in the right place? For starters?
Yeah, you said the orchard.
Yeah.
That's what the letter says, right? Like,
Yeah, that you are in the correct place,
Oh.
as what the letter said. Do you want to wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, we have nowhere to go anyway.
Well,
we,
if
So we have to wait for Tessa no matter what.
seeing Tobis is not coming, I would like to scout the area, see if someone else is coming, or he might have alerted the guards or whatever. Maybe this is a trap.
yeah, it's getting a little bit suspicious. So
Yeah.
as while Einar does that, I want to take Masari and hide a little bit, like behind some trees or like next to the house or something like that. Just not to be in the open.
Yeah,
Apple trees are super climbable. Can Mashari climb up one of the trees?
nothing's stopping you. They're quite sizable and sturdy.
And I, even as a kid, I could climb a apple tree. So yeah, she'll kind of climb up into some of the lower branches.
These are not hard trees to climb, so yeah, you can do it.
Yep. Doo-doo-doo. Oh yeah.
I try to follow.
Yeah.
I'm a little more graceful probably than I'm not bogged down by any heavy armor or shields.
Yeah, Aisa, you can make a strength check to follow her up. Or athletics, if you got it.
Don't wreck this poor tree.
Anything you want. You want athletics? You want acrobatics? Does it?
Athletics.
Athletics is 19.
No problem. And you didn't damage the tree. So could you make a perception check for me,
Oh god.
there, Enar?
Oh, yeah, okay.
16.
Okay.
16. So you're kind of scouting around this area. It's a fairly nice orchard. As you're kind of making a circle around it, you see, coming from across the town green, running very quickly, the form of Tobin.
Who?
Is it Tobin?
Oh,
or
sorry,
Tobin?
Tobis, sorry. That's
Oh.
my bad. I didn't read my note when I said that.
Tobin I feel like Tobin's a Fire Emblem character or something.
Yes, he is.
Excellent.
That's where I'm getting the stutter. Okay. So yeah, he will make it into the green. Are you trying to be stealthy or just out in the open?
Me? Oh, no, I'm not trying to be stealthy.
Yeah. He will run up to you, stop, and is panting. He's like, "I wait. I'm sorry." And just kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and is breathing. It's like, "Sorry. You're here. Good. I wasn't sure you'd come." Is everyone else with you?
Hand off my shoulder and a look of disgust. Yeah, you can start speaking now. What's your business with my wife?
Wait, your wife?
Yeah,
No,
the
no.
one you passed the note.
Did I there's I just wanted to talk to you guys. I'm really I just, and he's just kind of wilting under your gaze.
Leave the poor thing alone.
He's just a kid.
I know, you see, that's the problem.
Trying to do the right thing.
Listen, kid. This is clearly out of your league, so if
Oh my
you
God.
dishonor me again,
Oh my god.
I will not let it pass.
He'll go pale and just be like, nod.
Are we clear?
Can I punch Aegon in the throat?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, we're
you can follow me, the others are this way.
Hard
sorry.
swallow will follow you.
Okay.
Bashari,
Sweet.
when she sees them coming, will climb out of the tree and go, Talbot!
Yeah. Yes. Hi. That's
Hello.
my name.
Follow Masari.
Be careful.
You can see he's not wearing the guard uniform from before. He's wearing pretty much farmer's clothes and a loose shirt. And he'll say, "Well, I feel rather silly now, but well, I didn't want to leave you guys here, and they had me working for ages. It's fine. Well, you're all here, and well, I was gonna help you escape, but I guess you didn't need me."
Yeah, I kind of, sorry about the door, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. And he smiles.
Okay, good. Because, I just wanted to get out. I don't do very well in confined spaces anyway. But do you know anything else? Like, we really do want to help the town.
What's going on here? Why the guards are keeping the trances?
And he'll just kind of get his wits about him and just, okay. Don't tell anyone I said this. But the guards are working with the Red Brands.
Dun, dun, dun.
Big reveal, nobody surprised. He just kind of stops. It's like, "Oh, you knew that. Okay. No, it's fine. All the other guards are fine to just doing what they tell us to, but it's not right. We're supposed to protect the town, not just the mayor."
Yeah, why aren't you doing that? The mayor, it's because of the mayor? The mayor makes you? And the Red Branches?
Well,
Who's responsible for that?
he's in charge of the town, but honestly, the Red Brands are in charge of him.
And who's in charge of the Red Brands? Is that Spider Lady?
It's a guy.
I don't.
The black spider.
Yeah, is that the Black Spider?
I
You say Black Spider, the lady.
he'll shake his head and say, I don't know about that. What I heard is that the leader's called Glassstaff.
Glass staff.
We heard that?
Didn't we hear that name already?
Yeah, he was the leader of the Red Brands. We knew that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's the wizard.
Yeah.
He's at the
Glassstaff
manor.
the Wizard is the one who's in charge of the manor. The Black Spider is the one who gave the order. to Glassstaff and the friends and the goblin.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Tobias,
Yes.
if the Red Brands were to go away from this town, which members of the guard would try to stop those helping the town?
Pretty much the entire guard is under his thumb, so you can't really trust them. But if you're willing to do something about the Red Brands, I know a way in
In where?
to their. I yes, but and he'll just kind of shake his head and say, look, I was out in the woods, past beyond the manor. I was doing some hunting. Not very good, I know, but still, I was trying. But all of a sudden, the Red Brands were there. They were just walking around, and I hid. They didn't see me, but I think there might be a secret entrance.
Down like at the bottom of the hill.
Little ways past. You guys are capable, I can tell, but I can
So
lead you
Michael?
there if that's.
Is he talking like right around like here at the base?
Or behind here over there.
The map ends, but the forest continues around the hill in a ways to the east. So it's past the hill, yeah,
Oh, okay.
off the edge of the map over here.
Okay, yeah.
Well, probably be a good idea that we have to wait for our other party member. We want to bring her along probably.
There's another one.
Yeah. She's
Well, good. More the merrier. You have no idea how long I've waited for people like you to show up here.
well. Then we're happy to help.
Could you pass a little note for us, maybe? In the mayor's office. You have a guest, right? A pretty lady.
Yeah, some noblewoman came from out of town. Why?
That's the one you're looking for.
Could you pass her a letter?
A letter?
And I'm sure Tubbs knows all about passing notes, right? That's an easy one for you.
You're never gonna let him go for that.
No?
He doesn't even know. It's like I can pass a letter. Yeah.
Okay, and has any of you have some girlfriend or friend?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Right.
It's like or a message. I could do that.
So could you tell that lady to meet us tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning?
There's yeah.
Where?
Tell her where she left her.
Oh yeah. I can do that. Yeah. I guess. Sure. Yeah. He'll smile.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for your help.
Oh, and what's the deal with
And your
Donor,
bravery.
the veteran, the head of the guard?
Oh. Well, he
Is
used
he
to
doing
be.
his job, or is he going to be opposed to us once we start
He's always been
the
tough
job
as
with
nails.
the Red Brands?
You know what? I don't know. I know he used to be an adventurer before he came here. Helped set up the town, but he just does what the mayor says. They know each other.
Okay.
Sorry, he'll kind of shrug.
It's okay. Thanks a lot for
Thank
your
you.
help.
You're very brave for coming to us and helping us.
He'll kind of
Yeah,
smile and
sturdy,
nod,
but brave.
grimace under that, and look towards Mishari and say, "I'm glad you're out. I'm sorry, I really have to go now, though.
Okay.
Pa's gotta beat the crap out of me if I'm late."
They say,
He'll nod and he'll book it off back towards town.
So what are we doing now?
So maybe go look for that secret entrance, and once Masari comes, once Tessa
Yes.
comes, sorry, go in, beat the crap out of them, and save the city.
yay!
Yeah, we can cut to Tessa. Dinner is about to be served. We can go through that, or we can just assume things are going well. Your call.
We can assume things are going well for the. I just want. There's some conversation.
Okay.
So Tessa, so after they've gone through the usual pleasantries and flattery in the first course of what is probably several courses, given Harb and Wester's size. So yeah, clearly just flattering him and also showing some sort of absent-minded worry the whole time. Clearly something's weighing on her mind.
Yes. And there is wine at this point, definitely.
She has been heavily encouraging him to drink it and miming up.
Okay, his cheeks are fairly rosy at this point. And he, after there's like a sizable pause in the conversation, he will look over, and he will say, "You know, my dear, something is troubling you. Don't try to hide, my eyes see all. What can I do for you that might put your heart at rest?"
All right. I'll tell you the truth, but to be honest, Mayor, I was afraid to say something. I didn't know who to trust.
Oh, come now, you can trust me.
I know I can, and it puts my heart at such ease to know. When I said that goblins attacked my caravan, I hear that wasn't the full truth.
No?
No, there were goblins, but they weren't alone.
Oh, that must have been terrible for you.
Yes, the reason I didn't know who to talk to, there were men, humans, working alongside these things. All of them with this red sash around their arms. Their brutish, curt voices cutting down my men and stealing my belongings, and I've never been so scared in my life. And she just reaches out, puts her hand over it, be held by one of his, and just, I didn't know what to do.
Oh, that's terrible. But surely it couldn't be red branded men you saw?
I saw it clear as day. One of my men, in fact, before he fell, he did manage to cut down one of them, and he pressed this to me and said, and told me that I had to bring justice. And I will press into his hand one of the stashes from one of the corpses of the red brands I took.
Alright, he will take it, and it's like a moment of sobriety when his eyes just focus on it, and under his breath, you'll hear him say, it's like,
But they're just a mercenary guild. Not much trouble. Really, they wouldn't.
Do you know them? Oh, please, you have to help me. Please, I beg of you, I've never felt so afraid in my life.
he will kind of sigh and settle into himself and look towards you. And wow, that was loud. Ignore that. Settle into himself. Look towards you, and there's sadness, and it's like,
Yes, I know them.
yes,
We have well, they've been offering protection for the town for a while, and I can't imagine them doing anything like that. I'm very sorry. Terribly, truly I am.
I wish only that I had imagined it. But I cannot forget the faces of my men. I had hoped to reach out to this town and others. I had plans to expand my business, but if these roads are truly so unsafe and I cannot even travel here unmolested, then, well, it's more than just lives lost, it's so much profit too. Oh, I must sound a terrible person to place money as that level of height.
He will kind of go quiet for a little bit, and he's looking down and nodding. And he will look up at you and say,
Don't worry, my dear. I'll see that those who did this to you are brought to justice.
Truly? I...
Have it on my name. I'm not the mayor of this town for nothing.
and he just kind of pushes himself up a little bit.
Can I insight check him, see if he's being serious about
Please
this?
do.
Man, I'm not the best at insight. Shit. 10. Flat 10. He's drunk, hopefully that helps him.
Can't tell.
Can't tell. Alright. In that case, Tessa's just gonna say this in her guise. I'm not even with so many of my belongings taken from me. I'm still not without personal funds. I had hoped, in the name of, in the name of revenge, that I would be able to hire some groups myself to take care of these creatures, these monsters masquerading as human.
And he'll just put up his hand. It's like,
Nonsense. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. For you and your fallen comrades.
and he'll lean closer and just kind of tink your glass, even if you're not just kind of holding it.
Thank you. But truly, you would not stand in the way of anyone taking care of these brutes?
No.
You would perhaps even send your guards yourselves to take care of them?
Well, what else are they here for?
Oh, I only ask that you let me be here. May one give you, so that I may see the satisfaction with my own eyes.
For the end of this, I'll have you make just a straight charisma roll.
Okay.
And
So not deception or persuasion?
No, just straight charisma on this. And I'm also going to give you a point of inspiration for that.
Oh, sweet. 15!
Alright, things go well, and the conversation descends back into pleasantries. Though he, as the drinks get deeper in, he keeps making more and more less blatant moves on you.
Now Tessa is, Marina is a noble gentle, and there's such a thing as what is proper for a first date, a second date, a third, and so on. And a kiss may be given to the hand, or perhaps a gentle one on the cheek, but nothing more than that in the first date.
And while he might be talking big, he's not making moves towards you physically.
Yeah. Good. And so basically, Tessa very much plays along and is as well just making subtle hints on her own that like she's waiting for the chance to meet someone who has a heart of steel and affection in equal measure. The sort of person, the sort of brave man that stands up for what is right and good and true and fights back and is his own person. Because all she knows about Harbin Wester from a spineless old guy, and she's just like, I mean, if he's got to be spineless towards someone, it may as well be me, and I'll see if I can nudge him in the right direction. But yeah, and that's about it. And so probably 9 in the evening, she'll bid him good night and start heading back to the room.
All right. Once you get back to your rooms, and things are kind of settling down for the night, might be thinking about going to bed. there is a very slight knock on the door. It's fairly late.
Tessa just undoes a button. Come in.
You see a blank-faced servant just peek their head in, female, and she will say, "Sorry, sorry, miss. This is for you." And there is a small folded envelope, and she will leave it on the floor and say, "Apologies," and she will just quickly close the door and leave.
All right, and she'll just unfold the note and read it.
It is a message from Tobin asking you to meet your party. Tobis, grr, asking you to meet your party the following morning.
Well, seems like things are proceeding well there, too. Well, if I can get this gutless old fool to do what I want, this will be much easier. If not, second date will involve a bed and a pillow placed over her mouth. She just closes the note and slides it away.
You're sorry.
Hey, it's her second option, not her.
Alright, the party, what are you guys going to be doing for the night? Camping? Or are you returning to the inn?
We may as well just camp out in the orchard since we aren't going to get kicked out anytime soon.
No, let's stay in there. I was
We can
thinking
go
about-
and ask from the elf to let us stay at his house, maybe for some gold.
It looks small though. I don't know if you'll have room for all of them.
It is a... What you can see from outside is it is built from wooden timbers. Very much like a pioneer single-room house.
Oh,
There is a chimney on one side with smoke coming out of it at this time of day. However, it's... yeah. Seems
I was
homely.
thinking, since it's getting late and getting dark outside, maybe we should go look for a bit about the entrance.
You guys don't see very well in the dark.
yeah, no.
Yeah, no, but since it's not dark yet, is it dark?
It's gonna be getting dark.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark.
This area is fairly mountainous, so as the sun is setting, it'll get dark faster as it hits the mountains around you.
Maybe in the morning.
Well, and Tobis is gonna show us where it is in the morning, so.
Yeah, we can always try and go back to the inn.
Yeah.
I think they'll be looking for us there, because I kind of did escape from a cell. Like, you two could probably go, but I can't.
Yeah, but we cannot leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
We
either...
can sneak you in and...
I don't want to be snuck in. You two aren't that sneaky. If Tessa was here, I'd trust Tessa to do it, but
No,
not right now.
Listen.
I don't want to go back in that cell. Jeez.
You're not going back in the cell. We're going to a room. We're throwing you a rope. You catch the
Yeah.
rope. We're pulling you out.
No, no,
You'll
no.
never take me alive, narc.
I'm very noticeable. I think they will see me if you try to sneak me in.
You can put a hood over your head.
Her horns go like up.
You can put a hat over your head, over your horns. You have a hat.
Really? No,
You
I
should buy a
don't.
hat.
Giant top hat.
I don't
Yeah.
want a giant top hat.
You can be like a magician. Hey!
I can already do magic, and she wiggles her fingers, and one is already turning green with like a. With a why am I still forgetting what my fucking magic is called? I'm an Eldritch Blast. She's like lighting up with an Eldritch Blast, but then she and it goes out.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about?
Okay.
I don't want to go back to the inn. I'm very afraid of getting caught.
So we're camping outside the town.
Yeah, let's do that.
We can stay here. We got told we can stay here.
Yeah, but we can't light a fire or anything. I don't think that the elf would like that.
Yeah, we're not putting fire in sorts
Then let's just go a little bit outside of this orchard.
of torture. Yeah, we can go outside the orchard. We're up here.
Mm-hmm.
We can light a fire here. Oh, this is the house that we were talking about. The elf's house.
No, that's the larger one closer in. Once you get up onto the hill, you can see the ruins of a very small shack on the edge of the hill towards the river.
We could go there.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
We can go and take a look at there.
The roof is half collapsed, and the wood timbers are kind of caving in with age, but you can definitely go there if you want.
Yeah, half roof better than no roof.
Agreed.
To the ruins.
All right.
Tessa sleeping in this gorgeous, like, four-poster bed, and we're all holding on to
Tessa-
an abandoned shack.
Tessa is like sprawled out decadently on it, like eating like fuck Doritos, ridiculously fancy. She is living the best life of like a commoner living been surrounded with life, and she's just like living.
And we're squatting in an abandoned cabin.
She is currently like play speaking with herself, like pretending there's a servant dropping grapes into her.
The grapes are there. You can
I love
absolutely
it.
do that.
Oh yeah, she's just like, I couldn't possibly.
Yeah, I hate you.
Don't hate us just because you ain't us.
So, yeah, the night passes. Let me check real quick.
Some watches.
Yeah, did you guys want to set up watches?
Oh yeah,
I'll
what's
do
this?
the first one.
Okay, I'll do the second one then. Well,
I do the last one.
Don't mind
This
me.
is deeply hilarious to me.
I will roll a
Oh.
perception check to keep an eye out on our surroundings, because it'll be great.
I just want you to know that if all of your bodies are found in them, it's just gonna marry them. Be her story.
and we have a 12-hour window that we cannot watch. We cannot take a watch.
When do you guys want that window to be throughout the night? Closer to the end, near the beginning?
I think in the beginning, when it's still early and
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, when it's still a bit light out.
yeah.
Alright, so what's the order then? Or are you guys just going through it?
I'll go first.
Yeah, it's Masari, Einar, and Ace the next.
Okay.
I got an 11 for perception, which is pretty good for me.
Mm-hmm. With dark vision. Okay, so
Yeah.
at near the tail end of your shift, you can see that there are several guards actually walking down a trail way downhill on the far side of the orchard, because you got a bit of a vantage point here. They have torches, or sorry, lanterns, so you can kind of see the glowing outline as they walk. And they seem to be approaching the small cabin that the elf lives in.
Mashari's gonna kind of go to the edge of the outlook and
As you're looking, they stop at the door, and after a moment, they begin to move as if they're talking with someone. You can't really see at this angle. And after several tense moments, they turn around and walk away.
okay, and Edermath, or however you pronounce it, he's not with them.
No.
Okay, so then that's fine. She'll kind of crawl back to their camp and out of sight.
Great. Perfect. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. And everyone gets a long rest if you are damaged in any way. I'm not sure if you are.
Nope.
A nice peaceful day full of weird tension that wasn't fight tension, but was definitely still tension.
Precisely.
I was almost perma arrested.
So, morning will come around, the sun rising, illuminating some sparse clouds up above, and actually causing a couple god rays to shine down over the town and the valley from your vantage point.
Aw.
It's quite beautiful. And you see the sunlight peeking in through your window, Tessa, as morning comes around as well.
It's a beautiful day. I slept so well. I hope everyone else is doing all right.
Ah,
back
bugs.
is sore.
Is there a mirror in her room? She probably
Yes.
needs to spend some time getting her appearance in order.
Okay.
That's what her morning is pretty much. She's got to play the part of a noblewoman. She's got to look the part.
And then we should probably start heading for the forest, where we're meeting Tobis and then eventually Tessa.
Okay.
Tessa, you receive a summons to go to breakfast with this man, but it's a little bit later in the morning.
All right. She will dress herself nice and well. Make sure everything she's got her bag, but her bag her travel bag is effectively like one of those things you can turn inside out, and one way it looks a lot nicer than the other way. And so right now it's turned out so that it looks nice. But she's still got her weapon, her hand crossbow, and her dagger hidden underneath her clothes. But beneath more than a few layers, if this is the noble outfit. She'll head down to breakfast.
Lovely. Breakfast will go by fairly pleasantly. The town master will assure you that he is taking care of the business you discussed earlier. And he seems to be greatly enjoying your company and not really caring why you're here.
Can I do an insight check on the business we discussed actually being taken care of?
Yeah, you can do that.
Fuck. Alright, 4.
4, there's one way or another, you can't really get a reading on this guy for some reason.
Wonderful. Well, and as soon as breakfast is finished, Tessa's just like, well, if you've taken care of the matter, then I feel safe enough to just take a walk around and see this place's beauty for myself, if you don't mind. It looked so gorgeous this morning outside my window, I just want to see a little more of it.
And he is fine with that, but he greatly encourages that you take one of his servants with you.
One of the servants? Tell you, I don't especially like to draw attention to myself too much unless it's the sort of attention I would like to have. And I feel like bringing a servant might bring more of it. I'm sure you understand. Just, can I have a little bit of time to just wander the morning myself, and then I'll come back and I'll get a servant, and I'll do a longer, proper walk with a servant later?
You can persuasion that.
Duh, 10.
This guy's actually pretty palpable, and that's all you needed to make that. So you hit it. He will be sad and he'll complain, but eventually you realize he just wants you. He doesn't want to inconvenience you.
Mm-hmm. What time should I be back for dinner, do you?
Back for dinner. Oh, that's late in the day for him. Oh wow, I thought you'd be back sooner. Anyway, he would basically say, joining him for dinner around 7:30 would be most appropriate.
Wonderful. I may be back sooner, in which case I'd love to. Day-to-day working is a charming town, but other than that, I'll most assuredly be back to enjoy your company.
And he will wave you farewell with a handkerchief.
Yeah, really
just like
captured.
a this goes. But, politely. Internally, she's like, ugh. Externally, it's all.
Mm-hmm.
And she will just go on a nice little walk, ambling eastward, and then duck around a corner and just immediately start and just be like, ugh, too much in a dress, too much time in a dress.
You can actually see Tobis was kind of working around the town master's hall at this time.
Oh, alright. Okay. She'll actually, in that case, she will not do that. She will stay dressed like a noble Tobis.
Yes, yes, ma'am. You. So someone said that you'd come with, and
Yes, I assume you are the brave young guard who should be acting as my escort.
Yes, ma'am. And he's
Wonderful.
very much not sure how to act around nobility, and he is very much curtailing to whatever he thinks you might want.
Bestride me, but 2 paces away, and remember to never make eye contact while you.
Yep, and he will do that, and just kind of quietly just point in a direction to go.
It is polite if a lady is leading the way that if puddle you lay your coat down for me to step on. Otherwise, you may proceed as you wish.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
If you say that, that's what he'll be doing.
I don't know. Did it rain last night?
No, it did not. It was.
Yes, it's not really expecting.
It was kind of cold last night, but it didn't get down to freezing or anything.
Yeah. So just continue on. She's tempted to f with him a little. Continue on.
Okay.
Then we're probably moving around the edges, right? Like the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So Tovis is basically going to hang out around here in an open area that's far enough away from the main town, but near the forest he talked about. So he's basically waiting there. He doesn't know exactly when or how or where you guys even went, so he's hoping you'll meet
I
him
would
there.
like to just confirm something for myself. Did the guard receive any new orders
Like this morning?
this morning from Harbin? Did you overhear it, or did you receive any yourself personally, or did you hear it being spoken of or discussed with others?
I actually haven't come in yet. I'm a little late. And he kind of furrows his brow.
Wonderful. Well, when I return tonight, or earlier, in all honesty, if I stop by the town hall again, please tell me if you've received any orders.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially if they have to do with the Red Room.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So, let's enjoy the sunrise and wait until my compatriots arrive, shall we?
Yep. He's very awkwardly standing there. So yeah, the rest of the party will meet up with her.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you slept well, Tessa.
Silk sheets, darling. It's not for everybody, but for those who like it, it's very deep.
I'm jealous.
So seeing you are all there, he will nod and lead you into the woods.
Yeah, let's go.
And with the sun rising and the party back together, venturing into the shadow of the trees, wind rustling, I'm gonna leave it at that for today.
Woohoo!
Thanks, everyone. There's
Thank you.
wanted to try something different today, so hopefully this was fine. But
Lots of talking.
It's a lot of fun when we get to have sessions like that, but really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
great, thank you.
You have Madam Tessa, Zeus Einar,
Yeah.
Flirty Masari.
No, it was nice.
Yeah. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, level 3, no question there. So,
Yay!
Okay.
congratulations.
Probably need this to take on that manner anyway.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Sweet. If I get prestidigitation, Tessa can just clean up her appearance magically in a span of a second.
Nice.
That's necessary. Especially if she wants to pretend she had nothing to do with what's probably about to happen.
Hey, I have over 20 hit points.
I don't know how you're gonna keep up with the double AD thing.
This is a small town, good sir. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she just this is going to end in tears one way or another. See how it goes. Who knows? If it takes too long, it may end in death before it ends in tears.
God, what path do I take?
You can marry him and then murder him and leave and take all his money.
Oh yeah, she's considering it.
Oh yeah, great.
Assuming he doesn't have any other family.
Uh-huh.
Like some-
Well, he might currently have other family.
Just kill everyone he knows and loves, and then kill him, and then
Over
hey,
the
it's
next 2
everything's
years,
for you.
We'll descend into chaotic evil. Just let's go.
Oh boy.
A Black Widow serial killer.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Black Spider thought they were the scary one on the block.
Yeah, thanks for playing, guys. Had a blast,
was
so
great.
thank you.
For the stage, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Great.
It's just fun to be more role play than fight sometimes.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's gonna be weird having after now that we have 2 things going. Weird having a Saturday with. That's weird.
Yeah, that is a very interesting point.
We'll actually have to get stuff done.
No, forbidden, not allowed.
Or we can just keep playing D&D. Like, why stop now? Just every
Yeah,
day,
exactly.
all day.
Forever, always.
I am free the next Saturday if Michael you're up for it and you want to run it and you want to keep running the game. I'm just saying. Same time, same day. I'm just saying. I mean, Spencer almost did say it.
It'll be 3 weeks in a row, though. It'll be 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row can get a bit heavy.
Yeah, it'd be your call.
Besides, I did not say it because I am still in Tessum.
I'll think about it and message you guys at some point. It'll be like within today, tomorrow, if I do it.
Sounds
So
good.
you guys get plenty of heads up.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, great.
If you're ready, that's no problem.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, thanks, guys.
That's actually useful. That was so much fun, though. Seriously, thank you for
Yeah.
playing along.
Yes.
I will not normally do that. I am very sorry. That got out of fast. I didn't have that much time in the session again.
It's fine. I'm working with a split party too, and I'm like, okay, this is a new one for me. So.
I intend to end
Yeah.
this as fast as humanly possible. I am so sorry.
It's all good.
It's fun.
Spencer needs to talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Running
got
5-hour
that
session.
figured out.
Yeah.
I feel distinctly hurt, Vilo. You've hurt my feelings.
No, man. No, it wasn't. I didn't say it like in a bad way. It's you give a certain tone to the games. I'm certainly not saying it in a bad way.
All right, I'll take it as a sort of compliment then.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take time away from you guys because that is the absolute worst.
No, but the thing is, when
No, it's-
you take away time, it's always funny, and it's always a great thing to watch and listen to. It's never very boring.
Yeah.
People who take away time and it's boring, you at least aren't boring.
Oh well, gee, I'm glad to hear that I am at least not boring. That's all I've ever wanted to be.
Oh, I love you, bro.
All right, I'll see you guys around. Have a good one.
Great game. Thanks so much.
I guess.
Bye.
Bye.